What is the trajectory of life? Is it linear, propelling us in a forward motion, or cyclical, dancing in circles around us? Nearly 5 years ago to the day, the universe surprised us. She put us both in Charleston at the same place at the same time.
Terminal 2, Baggage Claim 1, San Diego. That's where I picked you up a month later. You jumped into my arms and together we jumped into our journey. Our fourth date would start much like our entire story, unusually. Watching the sunset over LA from a plane, only to watch it rise again as we landed in Fiji.
I guess you could say that I couldn't get enough of you.
Our untamed spirits found us on a 3-week venture between Australia and New Zealand. This wouldn't be the first time I pushed your adventurous limits.
We endured what would be a year of long distance before I followed you to Pensacola. Not walking, not running, but leaping at the opportunity to continue our lives together. We would spend another year there in our little home on the bay, not knowing the universe had other plans for us.
I always knew that we love harder than most. It's the kind of love that goes right through you and sticks to your bones. It would prove itself true in the years to come because there was a time when we weren't together. When that day came, we helped each other pack, painfully sorting out our memories and the life we shared into separate boxes. On the same day, at the same time, we parted ways. I started my journey to Poland by way of DC, and you went across the country to start the journey of finding yourself.
Patience in the passing of time and honoring our journeys would be the lesson for the next few years. Just like the soul-changing ways of the love we once found, the loss of that love equally so. Daily laughter that accompanied our togetherness turned to sporadic communication before the pressures of both time and distance caused us to fall silent. We occupied ourselves with work, with adventure, and with the selfish pursuits, though never too far from each other's thoughts or hearts.
It was nearly 2 years later, a hot day in June when I worked up my nerve to call you. We spent 4 hours on the phone that day. 240 minutes was all it took to know I had to see you again. But if I had to be honest with myself, I knew before I even picked up the phone. You packed your bags, unpacked your heart, and jumped on a plane to meet me in Croatia. Seeing you there in the airport, our trepidation and butterflies dancing in perfect sync with the other, soon gave way to a collision of souls. There is no better feeling than knowing home is right where you left it.
The year that stood between our reconnection and today was painfully romantic. I spent the days chasing the hours in the sun, knowing our adventure had only just begun. We've traveled to each corner of this world, both together and separate, but nothing compares to our journey within.
Sweet bird, what can I promise besides love? To show up, to try every day, to do the dirty work. I promise you the unorthodox and unordinary. I promise you frustration, exhaustion, and adventure.
I promise to make the daily choice to love you with intention, to be equal in all things, and to respect the man that you are.
I promise you a partner, both in the exciting and mundane. I promise you my life, and to make it worth sharing until the end of our days.
Whether it's to a hidden corner of a secret town or to the edges of this earth. Remember that no matter where we travel, my favorite place will always be the spot where my head gently rests on your chest at the end of each day. So you see, my love, life must be cyclical, because just last week I picked you up. Terminal 2,
Baggage Claim 1, San Diego.
We are making our journey back to that same little home on the bay.
This is our story.
This is where we begin again.